It's Monday, November 29th, 2021. A few articles I want to share with all of you. Before I do, make sure that you give this video a thumbs up, share this video, make sure that if you haven't subscribed that you do subscribe, and also make sure you come over to my Patreon channel. Just uploaded a brand new video last night on Patreon. Link down below, go to the description box below, and it will take you right to my Patreon channel. So if you want to support the message, you want to support the channel, head over to Patreon. But without further ado, I want to get right into this. Markets today came back a bit. Many people were anticipating that the markets would roar back today and make up for the losses from Friday. Dow Jones down 905 points on Friday, up around 236 points today. So it fell short of any comeback, that's for sure. But futures are up, so we'll see how it plays out. Interesting that we now have this global health crisis taking place. You would think that that would rattle markets. You would think that markets would crash with this developing health crisis taking place. Again, with the Fed in there, with the plunge protection team, with the Fed in there buying, God knows what, markets just go up whether the news is good or bad. The markets are just so manipulated. But what is not manipulated is reality. And the reality of things is this: the economy is collapsing. The average American is going farther and farther into debt. And I want to share a few articles with you. This one coming from CNBC today. It's titled, "Heading into Black Friday, 1 in 3 shoppers are still paying off last year's holiday debt." No surprise, right? We've talked about this in the past. It goes on to say higher prices and product shortages are causing some shoppers to spend more to get the gifts they want. Millions of Americans are also still carrying last year's holiday shopping debt. Get this. This is absolutely pure insanity, ladies and gentlemen, that people continue to commit these type of mistakes. 29% of shoppers who put gifts on a credit card last holiday, that's 35 million Americans, okay? Let me repeat, that's 35 million Americans. They're still paying off the purchases from last holiday. That's incredible. It really is. It's really nuts. And 35 million people still paying off last holiday. And these numbers are probably manipulated. It's probably closer to 50. But when I look at these numbers and I think of these people, I hate to say this, but people really are going to get what they deserve. People have lost control. They cannot control themselves. This type of spending, especially now where we're at in this economy, if you don't see the writing on the wall, you really, really are doomed, ladies and gentlemen. This is driving credit card balances back up. This after Americans paid off $83 billion in credit card debt in 2020, helped by those government stimulus checks. It also didn't hurt when people were getting an additional $600 a week plus unemployment, did it? And not having to pay their rent. Credit card balances rose $17 billion in the third quarter of 2021. Again, the effects of the money running out. When the stimmies dry up, when the unemployment benefits dry up, this is what we get. And just think where we'd be right now if people weren't getting those $300 a month tax credits for their children. Average credit card balance right now per person is $5,525. And as we head into this holiday season, people are going to have to pay a lot more for those gifts. And they're going to get less gifts for the money. Again, people cannot control themselves. And people are going to go deeper and deeper into debt as we get closer and closer to the greatest depression in human history. Average annual percentage rate on a card right now stands at 16%. People do not realize that the longer that this debt plays out, the bigger the debt goes because it accrues this interest. And people are going to be paying this debt for years, maybe for eternity. They're never going to get out of debt. 35 million people from last holiday season are still paying on that debt from last year. And now they're going to acquire even more debt this holiday season. Who knows how many millions of people they're not telling us didn't even pay off 2019's holiday season. So when we look at where people are spending with their credit cards, let's take a look at this list. Number one, it's on travel, people getting out traveling. Number two, home entertainment, out of home entertainment. So they're going out to movies and so on. Number three, bars and restaurants. Number four, home renovations. Five, clothing. And six, automotive. What's funny is people will always say, JB, gold's too expensive. Silver's too expensive. I don't have it. But isn't it amazing that these same people have money for traveling, they have money for entertainment, they have money to go to the bars, they have money to go to Starbucks, they have money to do home renovations, they have money to go out and finance a car for 8 years, but they have no money to put away hard tangible assets, because hard tangible assets like gold and silver aren't fun. You put them away and you don't look at them and you forget about them. And you hope nothing bad ever happens. You hope you never have to use it. That's not fun. But people want fun. And people are willing to be debt slaves just to have some satisfaction today, but they're going to pay deeply tomorrow for it. How about this article, also on CNBC, titled, "More than half of shoppers are going into debt this holiday season. Study finds." What a surprise. More people going into debt. And I cannot emphasize this enough to all of you. This is the worst time to be going into debt, as we enter the worst economic collapse on planet Earth, as America sees the greatest depression it has ever seen. We're starting right now, ladies and gentlemen. The economy is collapsing right before your very eyes. It's been happening for years. It's accelerating. And in 2022, in my humble opinion, you're going to watch this collapse accelerate at a much faster pace. Shoppers aren't just using credit cards for holiday purchases. More consumers are tapping into so-called buy now, pay later services. We have millions of consumers who just cannot afford to buy things, and they're still out there buying things. And where are most of these products made? They're made in other countries. So Americans are going to become more broke, deeper in debt, and we're going to continue to make other countries rich by buying their products while we go deeper into debt as we become debt slaves. The study shows that this encourages consumers to spend more than they can afford. Last I checked, the average person who uses a credit card will spend 20 to 25% more than if they use cash. And I would imagine this is probably about the same. The average person probably going to spend 20 to 25% more than if they were actually pulling the money out of their wallet and counting those dollar bills. A recent survey found that 56% of shoppers made a purchase with buy now, pay later services that they could not pay off. What does this tell us about the economy? 56% of shoppers made a purchase with buy now, pay later services, and they could not pay the service off. This tells me that this economy is worse than most of us think. It tells me that the economy is not recovering. It tells me the economy is not going to recover. And it tells me that people are going to continue to get in more and more debt. And this means that they're really risking a lot of things. They're risking their home, their automobile, feeding their kids, just so they can go out and have this satisfaction today. You know, people want satisfaction today. Buy now, pay later, I'll worry about it tomorrow. Americans may spend a little less this holiday season, but still more than they can afford. And here we go again, people buying more than they can afford. There are no free lunches, ladies and gentlemen. The piper is always going to get paid, and these people don't realize it. And they're getting themselves in a real bad predicament here, and they've been doing this for a long time, and they're going to pay a very, very serious price when this house of cards comes tumbling down. Consumers plan to spend $997 on average for themselves and their families this holiday season. This according to the National Retail Federation. That's down from the pre-crisis high of $1,047 back in 2019. It says here, for the first time, about 45% of shoppers plan to use buy now, pay later services this on top of credit cards. This is telling us the consumer is not strong. I cannot tell you how many countless times I'm watching these business channels where these analysts and these guests are up there telling us the consumer has never been stronger. If the consumer was so strong, they would not be reliant on their credit cards. They would not be reliant on buy now, pay later services. 45% of shoppers plan to use buy now, pay later services. This doesn't include credit cards, as I said. 46% said that they will spend less, or they would spend less, if buy now, pay later services was not an option. So if you give people the option to spend more money, they're going to do it. But if you miss a payment, you're going to get late fees, deferred interest, or penalties. So look, don't think that this is just going to disappear or go away. They made buy now, pay later services so convenient. They put it on your smartphone apps, so it's so easy to just pull out your phone now, download an app, and go shopping. Anybody can do it. Another survey from debthammer.org found that 78% of Americans have set aside money right now for their holiday shopping. 66% plan to use buy now, pay later services. In my opinion, this Christmas is being totally financed, and without credit cards and buy now, pay later plans, we would see really, really big problems in regards to the retail numbers, the shopping numbers. This is all a bunch of smoke and mirrors, ladies and gentlemen. The average consumer cannot afford right now to go out and buy holiday gifts. That's just a fact. Without credit cards, without buy now, pay later plans, the average American is not going out and shopping. But we're going to hear about how great it is because people have purchased items that they cannot afford. I want to wrap this video up with one last article, this also coming from CNBC. It's titled, "Massive inflation will likely push Fed to hike rates 6 times before 2024, Phil Orlando predicts." I believe that we're going to see minimal 2 rate hikes in 2022, possibly 3. But what does this mean for the average American? This means that to borrow money, it's going to cost you more. So if you want to take out a mortgage, it's going to cost more. Personal loan, going to cost more. Credit card, going to cost more. Auto loan, going to cost more. To borrow money, it is going to cost more. And this is while inflation is going up. This is while millions of people are spending money like drunken sailors this holiday season and tapping in back into their credit cards, now also using their credit cards to pay for essentials like rent, grocery bills, car payments, you name it. The average American is showing absolutely no control. Now look, I know that there's people, especially many people watching this video right now, who are not the average zombie out there. I understand that, and thank God. But tens of millions of people are going to continue to spend money they don't have. And that's, hey, it's a free country. Do what you want. But if you're watching this video and you're one of them, remember the piper always gets paid. There are no free lunches. The money will get paid back one way or another. But you are taking out a lot of risk right now with where this country is going financially, the direction of this economy, to be taking out this kind of risk, buying things that you can't afford. It's really jeopardizing your family. It's jeopardizing your future. I can't stress enough to all of you right now to be very, very careful and cautious of where and what you're spending your money on. Look, I believe that this is a time that we have to give during Christmas. We've got to help people, be generous as much as we can, but we also have to be smart. And we also have to show control. People out there think that, their kids need, 50 Christmas presents. Maybe they don't. Maybe you need to pull back a little bit. I think this is the time where we really got to start cutting things out. Do you need a 10-foot Christmas tree? Can you get away with a 7-foot Christmas tree? Do your kids need 25 gifts, or can they get away with 15 gifts? I think that we really, really got to be honest with ourselves and what's about to happen. And we always get suckered in to all this spending and what we're watching on television. And look, we understand that Christmas is a big corporate push to go out and spend money and feed the economy. And this is why they gave out the stimmies. This is why they gave out the benefits to kickstart the economy. They want you to go out and kickstart the economy again this holiday season. And they want you to spend money you don't have. And they want you to go deeper and deeper in debt. They want you to go out and buy a house. They want you to go buy a car. They want you to go to Macy's and shop. They want you to go to the malls and shop. They want you to go to Amazon and shop. And they want you to use those plastic cards. They want you to use those plastic cards up and just keep spending the money so that corporate America becomes wealthier, so other nations where all these products are made become wealthier while you become more poor. I'm detaching from the system, ladies and gentlemen. That doesn't mean that I'm not going to partake and celebrate Christmas and give some gifts, but I'm going to be a lot more cautious about where and what I'm spending my money on, and I'm going to be tightening up. There's no doubt about it. I'm getting ready. I'm gearing up for 2022. And I think that you should too. So be careful out there and don't, whatever you do not get yourself into debt. I cannot stress, as I close this video up, I cannot stress enough. Instead of creating and acquiring more debt, start paying the debt you have off and get out of debt. The more free you become, the more you're going to realize that you can do more. That you're going to be able to take more chances, that you're going to sleep better at night. Your health will improve knowing that you're not a debt slave. You're just going to look at life so much different, and you're going to be a healthier person because you're going to be able to sleep at night. You're not going to be so stressed out. It's great. It's fun giving gifts to people. I understand that. But I think that we really got to think about cutting back a little bit right now, because I don't know about all of you. I got a real bad feeling in my gut. In my soul about what's coming in 2022. This economy is going to be wrecked. This economy is being wrecked right now, and I'm just not going to feed into it. This is the biggest bubble we have ever seen in our lifetime, and I am not feeding into this bubble. And so right now, I'm going to be very cautious. And we all have free will. We all have a brain. We all can do what we want to do. If you have the means and the finances to go out and splurge, feel free. I mean, it's your money, it's your life. But for the individual out there, if this is going to put you in a bad position, you better be very careful how you spend this holiday season. Because guess what? January 1st is around the corner. 2022 is around the corner. And this economy and the destruction of this economy, if you think it's been bad so far, wait till you see what's coming.